Hi, I'm Chris Lele of Magoosh, and I'm an ACT expert, and I have 15 years of tutoring experience. Today, I wanted to talk about some exciting study apps that could really help take you from a C to a B and maybe even to an A. They are apps that have helped our students out, and we think that you're going to get a kick out of them. The first app is called My Study Life. Now, I remember being in school way back in the days, and it was just really easy sometimes to forget what the homework was for the next day. Of course, yeah, you would write it down, but maybe you'd miss it at the very end, or maybe even forget that piece of paper. Where did it go? My Study Life solves all those issues because you can just enter it into your phone. And unless you lose your phone, which you probably won't, you're not going to forget what your assignments are. There are also notifications, so if you're like really into a show and you kind of forget that you have to do your homework, then ding, 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 uh-oh, I have like this hour assignment that I have to do. Better do it before I get too sleepy. That kind of thing. So My Study Life, that's going to help you on track so you don't miss any of those homework assignments. The next app I want to talk about is Magoosh's own ACT Prep App. You get a lot of great stuff here. There's, of course, the high-level stuff, such as how to study. You get these cool little infographics with pictures that give you stuff like the 5 tips to become a better test taker, or 5 ways to not study. That's such helpful stuff. But yes, it is an ACT Prep app, so you're going to get actual ACT-style questions, and you won't just get the answer, but you're going to get a video explanation. So it's ACT Prep, and you're getting the real stuff, all bundled up with other helpful material on how to study and the like, as well as articles relating to the ACT and to studying. And I should mention we also have this available for the SAT. The third app we're going to talk about today is called Study Blue. You know, one thing about studying is it's really easy to think you're getting something and you're learning it. And I totally know when the War of 1812 happened. Not going to forget that one. And then you go about your day and like 4 hours later, you're like, oh, when did the War of 1812 happen? Oh, I totally knew that. And that's why there's this wonderful memorization tool called the flashcard. We've heard about it since you first entered school. And maybe back then it was just this little note card. It got all dusty and torn at the sides and you lost it. Well, now there's finally something that is an app with flashcards, and not just flashcards that you have to tediously make, but it gives you these pre-made flashcards that oftentimes likely match up with what you're learning in class. And now all of a sudden, you're not going to forget what the War of 1812 is, or all of those other important facts. They're going to help you get that A. Next, let's talk about got it. Boo! Exclamation mark. What could this possibly be? Well, imagine you're sitting there. It's like 11 in the evening. I know, you procrastinated. It happens. And you're slogging away on a calculus problem, hitting your head against the wall. What's going to happen? If only somebody could solve this evil problem for me. Well, somebody can. All you have to do is take your phone, take a picture of the problem, and send it to the Got It people. And they'll get it and get right back to you with an explanation. But not the kind of explanation that says, oh yeah, the answer's this, duh. No, a very helpful explanation so you actually understand the logic or the reasoning behind the problem. For our last app, we're going to talk about actually more of a technique and apps that can help you apply this technique. The technique is called the Pomodoro Technique. And what is it exactly? Well, let me give you a situation. You have to cram all this information for a test that's coming up. And so you sit there for half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour and a half, and you're in pain. This is terrible, but you're going to slog through, punch through the history section, keep reading. But guess what? You're not really learning much. It's really painful. Your brain has fallen asleep, shut down, and you're not doing yourself any favors by continuing to study. So the Pomodoro Technique takes this idea that our brains need little bits of rest, and not just after an entire hour. But for instance, a popular breakup they have is between 20 minutes of studying, followed by 10 minutes of doing something not related to studying. So, I'm going to get a cookie and watch a funny video on YouTube. And that is something that's really helpful for your brain, because your brain is making new connections with the material you just learned, and it's getting some rest. And then, because it's really easy to keep watching stuff on YouTube, ding, those apps alert you that, hey, it's time to get back and do another little round, maybe 15, 20, 25, who knows, of studying. But that's the essence of the technique. Now, for iPhone, there's something called Be Focused. And for Android, there's something called Brain Focus. So I hope those apps will end up helping you out. In fact, I'm sure they will. You're going to have a lot of fun, and they're highly effective. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up. And finally, if you are prepping for the ACT, go head on over to act.magoosh.com and I'll see you next time.